Hi, we're Team 20 and we will be presenting the Spartan Plastics case. I'm Edward Jarvis.
I'm Natalie Barnes.
I'm Christine Chan.
And I'm Evan Chu.
So, what's the problem? Spartan Plastics shipping costs currently stand at over $600,000 per year, with shipping volumes forecasted to increase by anywhere from 10 to 25% in the incoming year, and customers becoming more cost-sensitive than ever. It is essential that the company finds a more cost-effective way to ship their products. The company is also faced with a lack of professionalism in their shipping department, as they have traditionally looked at logistics and shipping as a simple clerical task, leading to the assignment of a local shipping company by a shipping clerk and extremely high shipping costs.
Next is the delivery options. Right now, Spartan Plastics has 3 delivery options. Its current shipping plan uses an LTL carrier, or less than load carrier, that goes from one plant to each of the assembly plants and charges 5 cents per 100 weight per mile. The other delivery option is the Consolidated Shipping LLC, or CS. It uses a milk run strategy and puts all of the shipments into one truckload and goes to each city. The cost for the shipping plan is $6 per truck mile and $250 for each stop. And the last option is the Amalgamated Integrated Service, or AIS. It combines both transportation and cross-docking. It consolidates all of the shipments into one truckload and essentially drops them all off into one city for $6 per truck mile, where they are shipped to each city for a base fee of $250. So the cost of their current plan. As you can see to the left, their current shipping plan is quite inefficient and has to travel many miles to reach each destination, and is very costly since it's being charged for every 100 weight per mile. On the right is the table of how we were able to calculate the cost of the shipping plan. We gathered all the data such as the distance, shipment size, and carrier charges, and were able to calculate that the cost of the current plan was $7,690, which is very expensive compared to the other options. As you can see on the next is the cost of the Consolidated Shipping LLC, and as you can see on the diagram on the left is the milk run tactic, where all the shipments are in one truckload and are delivered to each city. We were able to calculate the cost of the shipping plan by multiplying the distance by the cost per mile of 6 and adding the stop-off charge of $250. The total cost of the Consolidated Shipping LLC is $4,590, which is a lot cheaper than the cost of the current plan. And the last of the costs is the cost of the Amalgamated Integrated Services plan. And as you can see on the left of the diagram, you can see that the shipping plan works as all the shippings are in like one full truckload, and once it drops off the shipments into its first destination, then they are kind of dispersed. With some calculations, we determined that the cost of the Amalgamated Integrated Services costs $4,626. Now for the cost analysis. On the diagram on the right shows all the different costs for each delivery option. Therefore, we can determine that on a price basis, the current shipping plan costs the most, the Consolidated Shipping LLC costs the least. Along with that, the price difference between the current plan and the CS is $3,100. The price difference between the current plan and AIS is $3,064, and the price difference between AIS and CS is only $36.
In addition to cost implications of each shipping option, there are also qualitative and service characteristics that need to be weighed. Timeliness is very important to uphold, as Spartan Plastics prides itself on on-time deliveries. It's part of their mantra. With the current shipping method, each delivery is independent from one another. Consolidated shipping poses the greatest threat to on-time deliveries due to the single truckload system. If there are any delays or flaws in transit, all 3 deliveries are affected. For example, if the truck is delayed on its way to Lansing, then Detroit and Toledo will also receive delayed deliveries, creating a domino effect. Analyzing AIS, the initial truckload carrying all 3 deliveries is at risk of delays, which would affect the entire delivery route. However, the cross-docking method reduces risk once the truck reaches Ypsilanti and the deliveries are dispersed to their final locations, because at this point, the deliveries are no longer dependent on each other and they have separate timelines. The reliability of delivery is affected by the amount of time the products spend in transit, and this increases the potential risk of damage and theft. The entire route for the consolidated shipping method covers 640 miles. Depending on which location products are delivered to, they will travel between 487 and 640 miles. These additional miles are not a significant enough increase from their current travel time to drastically increase the risk of finished products. However, on the other side, AIS poses a greater risk to the reliability of goods. The unloading, reloading, and additional handling of finished products into their final delivery truck in Ypsilanti leaves room for damage. This could lower the reliability and quality of Spartan Plastics deliveries. There are safety regulations put in place by the government that limit the number of hours that a truck driver can drive. If the travel time falls outside the legal limit, the schedule and on-time delivery could be affected. As a single truckload delivering to all 3 locations, consolidated shipping covers a total of 640 miles to complete the full delivery route from St. Louis to Toledo. This length of mileage will most likely call for multiple rest periods and possible overnight storage, potentially affecting the efficiency of this method when weighing cost against travel time. However, the cross-docking method proposed by AIS calls for the initial length of 521 miles to Ypsilanti and then significantly shorter trips from there to the final 3 destinations. By splitting up the delivery legs, AIS has flexibility regarding safety regulations and stoppage time for drivers.
Although this brief case study was relatively thorough, we did still find some key pieces of information missing in order for Spartan Plastics to properly select which shipping company to work with. Firstly, we have no information about the reputation of either Consolidated Shipping LLC nor Amalgamated Integrated Services. We have found the most financially sound option and will provide our suggestions for Spartan Plastics next. However, without any information about the reliability of either company in both timeliness and quality, we are simply providing a suggestion based on limited variables. Furthermore, there is no information about the culture or core competencies of either company. To ensure that the Spartan Plastics employees will respond positively to the hiring of a new shipping company, it is crucial that the beliefs of management are properly aligned. Finally, we can assume that Elise Lovejoy did thorough research in deciding which logistics companies to contact. However, given the 2 options provided, it's unclear whether or not Elise considered other modes of transportation besides trucks, such as via rail, air, or even intermodal transportation, if that appears to be altogether more effective. If these proposals were also to be accepted by Spartan Plastics as options for transportation, there may be one that exceeds both CS and AIS's offerings. For future considerations, Spartan Plastics is likely considering the combined business with either CS or AIS to be a long-term partnership. Therefore, Elise and her colleague must also determine the more particular points of a contract with the shipping company. Such considerations should include any extra fees for delayed deliveries, added costs to the shipping company if responsible for any damaged goods, and the potential to increase shipment sizes if Spartan Plastics is able to grow in the future. A crucial external factor that also must be considered is fluctuating gas prices. Due to the volatile prices of gas, it should be established whether or not the costs charged to Spartan will change, and if so, by how much.
Based on our calculations and weighing characteristics, the best option for Spartan Plastics is the Amalgamated Integrated Services. Although AIS is $36 more expensive than the consolidated shipping method, this is a minimal difference as AIS is $3,064 cheaper than the current plan, cutting costs by almost 40%. With cross-docking, Spartan Plastics can be assured that their products will be delivered on time versus the consolidated shipping method where there's a greater risk for delays since the deliveries are in one truckload. There are also government regulations that limit the number of hours a truck driver can work. AIS reduces stoppage time for drivers by cross-docking and splitting up the final delivery legs. Choosing AIS allows Spartan Plastics to uphold its values of fair prices and on-time deliveries. Spartan Plastics can increase shipping efficiency through transportation and cross-docking, all while lowering costs.
So one company that similarly has recently struggled with shipping policies is Etsy, a multinational e-commerce site founded in 2005 in Brooklyn, New York, with a focus on selling handmade, personalized, or vintage items. In the past, Etsy has established itself by having millions of sellers, each with their own individual, unique creations for sale. Etsy's mission statement is, "People make Etsy possible." We provide a meaningful space for sellers to turn their creative passions into opportunity. We enable buyers to discover unique items made with care. This affirmation boasts the qualities Etsy holds to differentiate itself from competitors. However, as of late last year, CEO Josh Silverman appears to be looking to turn Etsy into a version of Amazon. So the main problem for Spartan Plastics is a high cost of shipping. University of Pennsylvania professor Ron Berman states that people resent paying for shipping so much so that they'll purchase more items to receive free shipping. Shipping charges are also the one reason why customers abandon their carts at checkout. The problem many companies are facing today is how to compete with corporate giant Amazon, which prides itself in its high variety, low cost, and free shipping to its approximately 112 Amazon Prime members. Amazon's highly competitive position in the e-commerce market has already defeated several smaller companies and looks to overtake others in the coming years. Amazon's convenience and reliability have posed a stiff competitor to brick-and-mortar stores. However, their wide reach is also a concern to other e-commerce sites, Etsy included. Back in October 2015, Amazon launched a platform within the original site called Amazon Handmade, an artisan-only community for people to sell their handcrafted goods. This operation is a deliberate attempt to imitate Etsy's business on a larger platform. In an effort to counteract declining sales, as of August 2019, Etsy has been insisting that sellers provide free shipping to customers, and if they don't adhere to suggestions, their products are bumped further down in browsing. This lowers individual sellers' sales because their products are less visible, and it, in addition, has decreased Etsy's valuation, since customers looking for unique products are instead bombarded with larger companies offering personalized products. Unfortunately for Etsy sellers, the solution isn't quite as straightforward as choosing between two shipping companies' offers. Unless the genuinely passionate, talented sellers of Etsy are able to find a way to regain their position on the site, free shipping provided or not, Etsy may soon be another name of a company that fell victim to Amazon. Recently, within the past few months of 2020, Etsy has managed to increase its sales. Customers were dissatisfied with Etsy's actions in pushing out good sellers with great products and stopped supporting the company. However, due to the pandemic, people are stocking up on necessary goods, including face masks, which are offered in great variety on Etsy. This increase in sales greatly boosted Etsy's net income, at least for the time being. The graph on the left shows Etsy's declining stock price in the aftermath of their shipping regulations, and the one on the right shows the sharp increase in sales in the past few months, largely due to the sale of face masks. While not quite identical to the case, the problem faced by Etsy and its sellers holds similarities to Spartan Plastics' shipping problem. Both show how impactful proper logistics management and shipping decisions are to a company's success. Many consumer audiences are fickle in their retail purchases, so it's of key importance that companies work to please their customers. In Etsy's case, they must determine what regulations for shipping will be most profitable to sellers and beneficial to their growth as a corporation, without losing their key values. Similarly, Spartan must choose the shipping company that not necessarily offers the best price, but the one that will best reflect Spartan's goods in their business operations.
This is important because a company's shipping department is one of the main ways it communicates with its customers. On-time delivery and high-quality delivery display a level of respect that show the customer's order is important to the supplier. In the saying, actions speak louder than words, deliveries are essentially the actions. As a company grows the way Spartan Plastics is forecasted to in the upcoming year, it is key that they continue focusing on their critical customers reaching success, as their success will directly impact Spartan. That's why it's so important for the company to add professionalism to their logistical department, find a way to cut costs, and choose the right shipping partner, as it will keep their critical customers satisfied and help the company grow. This case also gives us a first-hand look into how a company handles logistical issues. Top management's first step to address the problem was to add professionalism to the department with the hire of Elise Lovejoy. After assessing the shipping costs for 3 weeks and determining they were too high, Elise's next step was to send out RFQs to several Midwestern shipping companies, allowing her to identify two attractive options, AIS and consolidated shipping. Once identifying these options, she has to look into the potential issues with timeliness, delivery reliability, safety regulations, modes of transportation, and quality level of care. We identified three main quality and service characteristics: timeliness, reliability of delivery, and safety regulations, with timeliness as the most important. AIS won out in 2 of 3 of these categories, including timeliness, leading us to believe AIS is the best option.
So these are our references, and if anyone has any questions, you can just leave a reply below. Thank you.